Overpriced studio time for mediocre beats. Go to FarrellJaroMusic.com. FarrellJaroMusic.com offers industry-quality hip-hop, trap, R&B, and pop beats that will take your creativity to the next level. We know it's hard to find dope beats out there, so don't waste any more time searching YouTube or whack beat-selling websites. Go to FarrellJaroMusic.com today to cop the beat for your next hit. Mixing and mastering services available too. Once again, go to FarrellJaroMusic.com. That's FarrellJaRO Music.com for the hottest beats in the game.
This is number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern on a Recap Monday doing his recap show. We're going to talk about sports, entertainment. We're going to have call interviews, on the spot calls. This is just a show that will bring nothing but passion and joy and understanding to all the listeners on the Two Live Stews radio platform. The number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2LiveStewsRadio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Wait a Minute Show.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed.
Yo, what's good? This is Trey Frazier. This is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Sure. Make sure y'all tune in to us every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
This is Key C from the
Kicking It With Key C show.
On the newly rebranded Two Live Stews Radio Network. We will continue to bring you the hottest, most interesting guests and commentary in the areas of social, politics, culture, music, and more. Continue to tune in.
Let's go, give it to you.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it.
And him, he's along for the ride.
Indeed.
But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we are back. The Wait a Minute Show. Your man Jelani J.B. Bodie coming to you live from the ATL in the Lion Den studio. And I told you we're going to get back into some basketball news. And this was a little interesting to me that I came across was the NBA and USA basketball. They're talking about new guidelines for youth programs. And what I mean by this, and I'll go a little bit deeper, into it. They're making recommendations on how to impact facets of the game, and there were a couple things that stuck out to me that they were looking to change, or to implement, I should say. So one of them was no more 3-point shooting. Now, this is youth. So until you're age 11. So anyone under the age of 11, no more 3-point shooting. And the other thing was no zone, no running a zone. And they're saying that a couple of the other things they were going to do is changing the size of the ball as well. If ages 7 to 8 use a ball of 27.5 inches of circumference. After that, anyone 11 or older would be 28.5. At that point. And then they were even talking about, for the younger kids using a 8-foot rim. I don't know how to feel about this though. Because the whole thing about the 3-point, getting ready to 3-point shooting, they were saying that it's supposed to basically take away or so these kids aren't just trying, because right now these kids are pulling up from half court, at this point, because they saw guys like Steph and now, LaMelo Ball, and all this stuff. They're pulling up from half court. So they're trying to discourage, all that from the kids, doing that. Also, the whole thing about the zone, what they were talking about, they were trying to encourage more man-to-man defense, and I don't really know if that is going to make basketball better. If it's going to deter these kids. Because they already pulling up. They pulling up from half court. They pulling up from beyond half court. But the shots are going in. Even if they can't do it in the game, don't mean they're not doing it. Now, maybe, them playing, man-to-man, that might work out, because a lot of these kids are so consumed with playing offense, that they forget, like, you can make a living or you can really make a difference on the defensive side. You got to love it, but you can do it. But starting out, no zone, no 3-point. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to solve, the situation. Because we're talking about, youth programs. We're still not talking about, these other camps that these kids be playing at. And of course, by the time they get to AAU, everything is different. But for me, I think what you really need to teach these kids is to be smarter in the game of basketball. You pull up from half court in a game, we're sitting you. That's how you deter that. You sit them down. You don't play defense, I'm going to sit you down. Every kid wants to play. Every kid, even the kid that's not as good. And if you see the kid that is on the court that you're better than, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, guess what? Chances are everyone else is going to follow suit. But it has to be universal. It can't be anybody in there, saying, we got to win this game. So, let's cater to the kids. That's the problem. You're catering to the kids instead of teaching them, the fundamentals of basketball and being a smart basketball player. Rough Buff said defense is all effort. Wrestler playing zone or man, whether playing zone or man, for man, NBA sounds stupid. Yeah, defense is all about effort. You start putting these kids and they don't want to play defense, and you start playing them man to man, you're gonna get a lot of matadors out there. That's what you're gonna do, because there's gonna be a lot of Olan, out there, because they're still gonna want to play offense. They're just gonna want to, score. Sit them down. Sit them down. You pull up from half court, sit them down. You take a silly three, trying to show out, trying to show your handles, trying to cross over, do something that you saw on YouTube or saw your favorite basketball player do. Sit them down. And just let them know, hey, that's not where we're at yet. You got to get this fundamental down. You got to understand the foundation of the game. And as time go on, all that other stuff will come to you. All that stuff, you know? So I don't know if this is going to work or not. Especially the 8-foot rim. What happens? It's kids that are growing vastly, and they'll be able to dunk on 8-foot rims. Then you got parents complaining, oh, my kid is getting dunked on. This kid shouldn't even be playing. There's a young lady that's a basketball phenom, and I'm sorry I forget her name right now, but she is 13 years old. 13 years old, should be playing 12th graders, maybe even college players. And they tell her, hey, you can't play as hard as you would if you were playing against someone older because you're just so much better. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, you're gonna, to me, if you're gonna do that, let her play with the older kids then. I know, there's some rules and everything, about that, but I don't know. Advance her in school. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's silly, to tell her that. And this is silly to tell kids, you know what? No 3-point shooting and all that stuff. Keep the 3-point shooting, keep the zone and everything. Switch up from man to man and zone from time to time so they know how to run both. So then when they come across a team, maybe they need to implement a zone and then they can switch it up man to man. Make them multi-dimensional. Make them, multi-talented over, both sides of the ball. Because I'm telling you, man to man, these kids, matadors. Ole! They're going to let them go right to the lane, Sit their butt down. If you don't want to play defense, sit down. Angry Black Man said the U.S. basketball is implementing some dumb, you-know-what, lowering the rims, just like we talked about, to 8 foot, and this other stuff is garbage. Welcome to give everyone a trophy era. It will only get worse. Several states are now looking to outlaw tackle football under the age of 12. So Angry Black Man, we are into everyone gets a trophy era. And it's not good. It's I play sports. Now, I didn't play basketball or football, but I played sports in high school, and it sucked not winning. It sucked watching someone else. I ran track, so it sucked watching someone else, get a first place, second place, or third place. But guess what? What it made me do was like, you know what? I got to get faster, or I got to get out of the blocks faster. I got to, set my pace better. I got to get smarter. And then I come back. Guess what? Then I medal out. But yeah, just trying to get all these kids these trophies and everything and just giving them a false sense of hope. And to me, sports taught me how to deal with stuff in reality. Guess what, bruh? Everything ain't going to work out for you. But the next day, you get another opportunity to go at it again. Now, these days, these kids, are thinking like, man, it didn't work out for me. So tomorrow it should just be given to me. No. Yeah, I think you set a bad precedent when you start doing stuff like this. Let them play like any other, rules or whatever. And then when they start doing silly stuff, sit their butt down. In practice. Practice, play how you practice. You do it in practice, sit down. Guess what? You keep shooting them. You keep not playing defense. You keep doing silly stuff. We're going to find somebody else. So, but I thought that was really interesting, as far as like, these rule changes that they were thinking about doing. And I don't think it would help out, especially the way these kids watch these videos and everything, and they want to, imitate.